bring in CBS Sports football writer Barrett Sallee. And Barrett, you just heard the press conference there from the AD and the interim president. What's your reaction to what they said?
Well, quite honestly, I think it was expected because even the reports that came out in the middle of the night last night did have information that this is an ongoing investigation and there will be a final hearing in a couple of weeks. So if you're Michigan State, you don't want to fire him when you're still investigating him. So suspending him without pay, it makes total sense. It allows Michigan State to address the situation even further. And I think when you look at how this was handled, I don't think they expected the information to come out in a media report in the middle of the night during week 2 of the college football season. I think they were going to wait until all of this sort of shook itself out, and it would have been a couple of weeks. But I think taking this interim measure, they were kind of forced into it. And look, it's the right thing to do. You cannot have Mel Tucker on your sideline right now for Michigan State. There's just absolutely no way. The story and the allegations and the information that's come out during the investigation, it's just sickening. And because of that, yeah, you'd like to wait till the whole thing goes through because then you don't have to, to make a decision like this until all the facts are out there. But a lot of the facts got out there and they had no choice. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all. In fact, I would guess at this point, it's almost a certainty that Mel Tucker has coached his last game at Michigan State.
Incredible to see that happen as he signed a 10-year, I think it was $95 million deal just a couple years ago. And now that's probably all or a lot of it down the drain. So moving forward, okay, we know the hearing is going to take place October 5th, right? The final one. But in terms of the football team, what is next for the Spartans here? Because this is going to be very turbulent, I can imagine, for not only the coaching staff, but also those players who trusted Mel and really believed in him.
Yeah, it's interesting because he was, and I guess still is, a very good recruiter, right? He got a lot of players excited about Michigan State after that Peach Bowl win. So from a football perspective, where does the program go? I think it's smart to bring in Mark D'Antonio in as sort of a shepherd to kind of guide them through all of this. But when you factor in the Big Ten adding 4 teams from the West Coast next year, where does Michigan State go? What's the future of Michigan State football? The answer is not very good. It's pretty bleak at this point. So I think right now, if you're Michigan State, you get rid of the season, you chalk it up as just a lost cause, and then I think you got to figure out, do you go hire an up-and-coming coach that you think can help compete in the new look Big Ten, or do you just go on a full rebuild? Because I think privately, Michigan State folks will tell you they made a mistake with the contract that gave Mel Tucker. It was too much, too soon, too expensive. So I think hitting a full reset might be what they want to do. But I think there's no doubt that this is a situation where those players that trusted Mel Tucker are going to have to look in the mirror and say, okay, what's the plan? And that plan, because the transfer portal is there, might include a career somewhere else, which means, man, you're looking at a Michigan State program basically starting from scratch.
I was going to say, there's going to be a mass exodus probably of all those Michigan State players that Mel Tucker recruited. Barrett Sallee, thanks so much for the time, man.